You know what the best part about 2025 is? We got some incredible stuff coming back from the OG 1990s up into 2025, and I am extremely excited for all the old stuff to be making a return because, as somebody that has continued to play the Super Nintendo throughout his entire life, I'm just very excited that more people are able to actually experience these incredible consoles from the 1990s. Now, I have quite a bit of stuff that I wanted to share with you here. That is just a really quick deal over on Amazon that I felt like a lot of you would actually be interested in. This is just going to be a more fun article to round things up with. And then this as well, a Legend of Zelda movie that I just simply wanted to talk about. So this right here, this is a Sega Genesis themed Retroid Pocket Classic console that I am honestly excited for. And the reason that I'm excited for this is because the Nintendo 64 and the Sega Genesis, there's no controller out there that actually feels good playing those video games. And unfortunately, with the 6 buttons and the games that actually utilize that, and even the games that only like use these like 3 buttons here, it's just so frustrating, dude. Like you can kind of see, like, can you imagine like trying to play a Sega Genesis game with a Super Nintendo controller or an Xbox controller and all of that kind of stuff? Now, like I do have the Nintendo 64 controller. I do have an 8-bit do Super Nintendo controller, which is why I have this right here. This is just an updated controller that I wanted to share with everybody. And I don't know, man. It's just the 6 buttons. That's really the main thing that or the main reason that I'm excited for this. I don't know whether or not this is going to be as good as the RG355X. I'm pretty sure is the name of the handheld. If you guys go over to the retro channel, I did make the video on the list, which is how I found this. I was updating that list because Amazon is constantly removing those. So either way, let's move on here to the arcade. This is sad. This is sad to see. Dude, listen. So I know arcades aren't for everybody, but I live in Plymouth, New Hampshire. And so for those of you that are unaware, it's the biggest arcade in at least from, if I rewind myself like 5 years, it used to be the biggest arcade in the world. I'm guessing it still is. Hold on. Is Fun Spot still the biggest arcade in the world? I'll just Google it really quickly. But I live like 20 minutes away from this. So yes, Fun Spot in Laconia, New Hampshire is still generally recognized as the world's largest arcade. So dude, I literally live like 20 minutes away from that. And I grew up going there. So, and they have a bowling alley there as well. So that's why this makes me sad because yeah, it's nowhere near us. None of us are going over to Japan, but like Sega, dude, it's like they don't really exist anymore. And out of all the companies that have the opportunity to actually like release something really cool and really awesome, I'm going to throw it out there, okay? And I know that this is probably going to sound really unpopular because I'm sure a lot of other people are like me and they love the Super Nintendo for the sound. The audio, the music in those 8-bit or the 16-bit games, great. I don't know how many bits, but you get my point. The music on the Super Nintendo was just awesome. The colors on the Super Nintendo were awesome. The brightness on the Super Nintendo was awesome. But here's the really big problem as an old school gamer that does still play the more modern stuff that reminds me of those old school games. Here's the issue: field of view. There's no denying that the Sega Genesis with the wider field of view and the smaller character, that at least to me, that is more appealing. That is more fun. Your character doesn't take up 20% of the screen so that the enemies just seemingly pop out of nowhere. Which is what I went camping the other day and I got bug attacked, bro. So that's really like the opportunity that Sega has, bro. Like, can you imagine a Sega Genesis in 2025 with better colors and better audio? Who would not buy that? There is not an emulator out there with good Sega Genesis audio. Personally, man, I don't like the audio on the Sega Genesis. It's too high pitched. It doesn't have that like super so there's a reason I have this like pink and blue border. This is called I got a brain fart moment here. This is called oh my god. Well, either way, I'm having a brain fart moment. I can't think of it, but the pink and blue from the 80s and 90s era, the rave parties back then. And so yeah, I don't know, man. So the arcade being shut down, that's just kind of sad to see, because as somebody that grew up literally 20 minutes away from the biggest arcade in the friggin' world, your boy was there all the time when he was growing up, dude. I don't I haven't been there in a while, but let me know if that would actually be something you guys would support and watch. It would be kind of hard, and I would need to take somebody with me to actually film with me. But I could, like, I'm pretty sure with with my phone, I couldn't do it with this camera, but with my phone, they have like a record in front of you, and then the camera on the back of it also records. So it wouldn't be like an actual like gameplay. Um, but I think it would be kind of fun to whatever. I think it would be kind of fun to do that. So this right here is concerning. So this YouTuber faces jail time for showing off Android-based gaming handhelds. Italian law allows up to 3 years in jail for promotion of pirated, copyrighted materials. So you're telling me Amazon gets away with this stuff, but this YouTuber doesn't? That's what happens over in Italy. So this is probably the first time in history that I've been made aware of somebody actually in the emulation space getting arrested. And just so we're clear, I'm not talking about Emu Paradise getting shut down. I'm not talking about Yuzu getting sued. I'm not talking about people that are selling either software to do this, or selling or having some sort of Patreon in order to download ROMs and stuff of that nature. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that literally just makes content on emulate, like me. Dude, I've been doing this for a minute. Like, I don't know. So the firms making these handhelds all operate out of China, which is beyond the reach of Western copyright law. This still, I got like turd mouth reading right now. So they still sell the devices internationally, sticking to vague language about the inclusion of game ROMs. For example, Inbernic offers bundles with micro SD cards marked as compatible 7,000 plus games. That makes this approach to revisiting retro games a legal gray area at the very least. Authorities believe once were nerds' activities may still run afoul of Article 171 in Italy's copyright law, which allows for up to 3 years imprisonment for violations. It is unclear who made the original complaint against the channel. Once Were Nerd has seen documents that cite copyrighted material from Nintendo and Sony, but Guardia di Finanza doesn't need the reveal that. So dude, it's just messed up. I think it's messed up. I don't agree with that. Right? Like, look, listen, man. I understand people that are telling people. So this right here, this is why no YouTuber gives you a link to go where you need to go. Man, I got gibberish right there. Nobody gives you a link of where to go. Nobody mentions where to go. Nobody does any of that, informing you of how it's for educational purposes only. That's why. It's because of the 1 in a million chance that it actually happens to you. Do you want to be the 1 in a million that it actually happens to? Let's read the comments really. Whoa. Comments? Okay, I was going to say, where's the comments? So, translation, what does that mean? Downvote? It sounds like an ecosystem. Yeah, I'm not even going to worry about it. So, Lossless Scaling frame generation plugin for Steam Deck delivers up to 4 times performance boost in both native and emulated games. So, this is kind of like the linear and smooth. There's an option in emulate. It's linear and something else. That's kind of what this reminds me of. But either way, if you have a Steam Deck, which I hope you do, because it's an insanely good handheld, Go and grab that if you're into this kind of stuff, like the retro type of stuff, because it does make the output of your game look a little bit better. It's kind of hard to notice on a Steam Deck, but it does make a pretty big difference when if you're like playing on like an Asus ROG Ally and you go into you put it on a bigger monitor, a bigger TV or something, it does make a difference. So this right here, the new 8BitDo Pro 3 gamepad is open for pre-order right now. This is a flexible $70 controller that's going to start shipping in August of this year. So, I mean, it's pretty much the exact same as the other controller, but as you can see, there's like I can't. So there's see how it's like the Super Nintendo controller, and then it goes into that like Wii U Pro type controller, and then I'm trying to figure out if this is like, if there's actually going to be some sort of a mod for like a keyboard, which I think would be pretty cool if there's like some sort of a keyboard option right here. And for the reason I'm saying that is because most people that are buying these types of controllers, they're going to be using them on their Steam Deck, their retro little video game console, and having that ability to have that keyboard on your controller so that you can search through the mass amount of video games on these things is just kind of pretty cool. This, I don't really like those. I didn't like, they sent me those. I didn't make a video on them because I sent it back. I didn't like them, so I didn't promote them. They're too small. So this right here, Grounded 2, Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, RoboCop, Rogue City, which I'm actually kind of dude, it's not so it's a super slow paced game. Oh, so I do want to say that because I didn't explain that about how the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. What I did say is accurate though. Like, who would not buy a Sega Genesis with better audio and better colors, brightness, and things of that nature, widescreen? Because there's already the 16:9 like mods for emulators, how you can play games in the 16:9 aspect ratio, not stretched, but like there's like AI that like actually creates the borders. But what I was saying about the Super Nintendo is I don't really play games for, this is going to sound so stupid, but I don't really play games for the fun factor and the action anymore. I play games to like relax now that I'm getting a little bit older. And the music on the Super Nintendo is just so superior to the Sega Genesis, at least in my personal gameplay wise. I do actually like the Sega Genesis more. I've tried everything on emulators but there's something about the Super Nintendo emulators. It almost feels like the games are running in like, I want to say like probably like maybe 40 or 50 FPS. And yes, I mean, hello, I literally have a 4,000. It's not my computer being underpowered. I literally have a $4,000 computer, bro. So it's not my computer, but I've tried SNES 9X, I've tried BSNES, I've tried the whatever I forget the name of it. Another brain fart moment. Your boy's got a bunch of brain farts. But either way, Game Pass this month is insane. There's Tony Hawk as well. Tony Hawk, the remake of 3 and 4, which everybody's hating on. But I'm at the same time, dude. Look, I'm not saying that the 4th remake is like perfect, and I get that the music isn't like the best. It doesn't have the OG music, but it's still a fun game. And people are saying that the skating doesn't feel good in those remakes, but what people fail to you can literally go into the game settings and adjust like how much hang time you have, how high you can jump, how your grind, like you can literally go into the settings and adjust everything. They have mods built into the game for people that used to use stuff like cheat codes. Yeah, so you get my point. This right here is another new handheld that's coming out, and this is what I'm saying about the intro to this, dude. The 90s into it's been happening so often lately, and it's just super cool. What is this? Releasing an awesome new Mega Man collectible figure. Oh, this website's got a bunch of cool stuff. Time extension. Hold on, let's just we'll actually do that in a little bit because I do want to get through. Where am I? So this right here, I'll toss a link to this down in the description. The only reason I wanted to talk about it is because it does have a $25 coupon right now. And I figured that whatever. I mean, it's only $100 anyways, but 65,000 games, you can kind of whatever. You can kind of get an idea of what's on it. It's so again, I can't look, man. If there was any like logos or anything, what happened to this bro right here with our bro right here over in Italy? I honestly do not understand. Like I don't. So these companies are like they're basically like, oh well, we want to remake and remaster our games and recharge you double the amount that it should be. That's literally what those companies are doing. But I think it has to do with the SD card. Like I'm guessing that these companies sell the actual console, and then the SD card is probably from a different company, and that's how they're able to get away with that. But either way, there's three different systems. There's the Emulate 4.6, Android 9 TV, and then Core Elect system. And you can switch between these really easily. I mean, all the settings and options and things of that nature are going to be on the like the actual console, like that Kinhank drive, the 12 terabyte drive, and then the X5, the Kinhank X5. Actually, I'll go ahead and do this right now, because if I can, I can't show you guys this part, but let me just do something really quickly. Or actually, my earnings weren't on that, so let me show you. So this is the list I put together for you guys. Oh, whoops. So this is a handheld one that I have that I was updating, and then this is the one right here that I was literally updating because, again, and it was sold out already. So this is what's happening. This is what happens to these things, and this is why I put the list together for you, is because they're always being removed. So you can kind of see this one was already removed. But either way, this right here is the other one that I was showcasing. This is a really good console. Somebody left a comment though about how they didn't have GameCube or Wii on their console, which I don't understand, because the one that I have, oh my god. So the one that I have, this one right here, I have those consoles. So either way, I explain all this why they're whatever, they get removed, but I mean, you can kind of get an idea of why they're removed anyway, even without me explaining it. So this right here is just kind of a little bit of a letdown. The FPGA Nintendo 64 Analog 3D has been delayed again. Now, this isn't an emulation console. I'm sure there would be a way, just kind of like the Retron consoles. You can always like find a way to mod those and put an SD card on them. But I don't know. I feel like these are more for collectors, for people that just want an old console that is still able to operate, if that makes sense to you. So so in other words, this is kind of what I would love Sega to do. Make an updated version of the literal Sega Genesis with better audio. I mean, it would be hard, and game companies would have to like rework the audio, but I think companies reworking the audio is a much preferred method than remaking an entire game, you know? But either way, dude, I know a lot of people hate on this company for delaying stuff and not whatever, and I understand the whole donation to fund something is kind of stupid. I know I'm on board with everybody on that path. I guess I don't like that either. I think that what happens with the majority of people that use that method is they don't take it, kind of like me with building computers and me running the PC building business and stuff. There's like, I buy all that stuff with it's literally one of the ways I make money with that. So Amazon has a couple of credit cards. You get 5% cash back for anything that you buy on Amazon. As somebody that is running the business, that may not sound like a lot, okay? Oh, it's only 5% cash back. But dude, I run my business to benefit the customer. And it has worked out so well for me because I'm building like 2, 3, 4 computers every single day, dude. So when 5% comes into your mind, oh my goodness, you got to keep in mind, dude, I build premium computers. So that 5% cash back, that's between $5,000 and $10,000 every single day worth of computers that I'm building. Just that alone, not the Amazon affiliate program, not the companies sending me stuff in order to build these computers for people and all of that. Like, so it adds up very quickly. And that's kind of what the creator cash flow website's for. I don't promote that. I just let it, the stuff on that website sell naturally. I lost myself trying to go digital and I fell down that path of the online gurus of freaking, oh, well, you have a business. You started making 6 figures. You started doing this. You started making a lot of money, dude. So teach other people how to do it. It's so it comes across, it makes me feel like a crap bucket coming across. It makes me feel bad trying to sell people stuff. Whereas me with the building computers and stuff, I literally have fun creating content, building the computers, and then people just naturally buy from me because I'm a goofball, weird, whatever freak of nature building building computers. I do not charge people anything for the computers. Zero, zip, nada. Just so we're clear, don't give them away. Okay, I don't give these computers away. I call that common sense. I'm not going to give you a $4,000 computer. I don't make that kind of dough on YouTube where I can just give you a $4,000 computer, bro. But I like if a computer cost me $4,000, which I send everybody proof of what I pay for the parts. I literally put a full-blown list together for people on Amazon. I message them, are like, this is what's in it. Are you okay with the price? They don't pay me a penny until they actually see the YouTube, this freaking mosquito bite, bro. Until they actually see the YouTube video of the computer. But either way, man, that's on the Creator Cashflow website. I really am so annoyed right now. I got bitten out the rear end. I'm so itchy right now. The bugs annoy me. So, anyways, let's go over here because it's going to be a letdown. I already know God of War sets a new standard for reboots. It is a good game. It's a new game. Prey is one of the most immersive sims of all time. I actually haven't played this. Let me know what so give me your 2 or at least 2 10 out of 10 games. You can go more and I will do that as well at the end of this. So Prey is one of the most immersive sims of all time. I haven't played this, so I can't give an idea. The Witcher 3 is actually a good game, even though it's not retro. This is a good game. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the best franchise. Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is going to sound really, really stupid, but I really didn't like it. I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't know, dude. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is about it. I just didn't like it. Baldur's Gate 3 is an RPGs out there, but it's going to be the most unpopular opinion ever. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was a little bit too slow for me. Maybe I didn't give it enough time. Because to be fair, as a kid, dude, I still hate RPG for the most part. I still hate RPGs because they're slow. Mostly JRPGs, they're just too slow. And I know that I said I play games to relax, but they're just not fun for me personally. Baldur's Gate, haven't played this. Ghost of Tsushima, this is a fun game. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, turn-based RPGs forever. I haven't even heard of that game, let alone play it. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a perfect open world game. To be fair, I didn't really give this much time. I played it with a friend or not with a friend, but played through voice chat on the PS4 Pro is when I had the PS4. Elden Ring, I haven't played that yet either. And then Last of Us. So this is a good one. But so unfortunately, there's no Super Nintendo games. So Super Mario World would be on this list for me. There's something about that game, bro. I know it probably has a lot to do with nostalgia, but the only way I can ever think to describe that game is it's just very charming. And then the amount of memories that I have with, my mom taught me how to fly in when you finish that first world area And then that first level where you first get the cape, that little hidden area where you go down the tube and you collect all the coins. My mom taught me how to fly in that level. And I just remember, I don't know. And then it brings back memories because we had a family reunion when I was probably, I want to say I was probably like 11 or 12. And we had like this big tent worth of just kind of like all bunch of like old stuff that people didn't know. It was almost like a yard sale. And you would buy a little raffle ticket in order to win something at the raffle sale. And you would just put on the ticket what you wanted. And you bought all the raffles. And then like, dude, my mom gave me so much money for it. There was a box of Nintendo games. This was literally my introduction to like entrepreneurship as well. So there's this box of like the Nintendo console, dude, plus probably like 70 or 80 games. Like there was so many games. And bro, I eventually won it, but I probably bought like 50 tickets. I was so worried I wasn't gonna win it. But it brings me back because I sold a bunch of those games at a yard sale. and I and I bought a Sega Genesis because I had Super Nintendo. But I wanted to play Vector Men. But I did consoles back then were expensive, bro. So yeah, so either way, this one's Zelda, I think I'm surprised this hasn't happened yet. The Legend of Zelda live action movie cast, Link and Princess Zelda first official look revealed. So yeah, it's kind of clickbait, it's only the characters. But dude, I'm so surprised that this hasn't happened yet. A Zelda movie sounds fire. Despite me not really caring for Breath of the Wild, you know, I mean, so it's not that it's not fun, it's just not. So like if I had to pick, and I know it has a lot to do with nostalgia, but if I had to pick between Zelda Breath of the Wild and just like, let's say like Zelda Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64 or Zelda A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo, and I didn't really care for the one on the original Nintendo. I know it's super unpopular. But hey, I'm just being on. I'm not hopping on the hype train at least. But we all like different games, you know. But either way, man, that's gonna bring us to the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think about all this stuff. This one I'm really excited for because there isn't a handheld out there with the Sega Genesis thing, and I'm gonna have to honestly update. I don't even know, for educational purposes only, dude. I've had the emulation videos up on the other gaming channel for like freaking like over 5 years, and nothing's happened to me without the little this is for educational purposes only. This is crazy. I feel like he had to have like linked it. It has to have been linked because there's no other. I just don't understand what these like negative. There shouldn't be any claim piracy. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Watch time is tanking down the roof. Let me know what you guys think about this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.